Hey everyone, I'm Toby, co-founder and CMO at Fastic, innovative testing app. I will say something about that in a sec. Today I'm focusing on our app onboarding, but we also learned today that web to app is obviously a very important thing, and we in meanwhile we're working very hard on that as well. So, but let me jump in the app onboarding, which is the topic of today. Step number one is about the introduction and terms. We're talking here a lot about the value proposition of Fastic, why people should use the product. We figured it out during a lot of user research, where we figure out that the final end goal is well-being and not only weight loss. So this is the way to well-being, and this is why we communicate this in the first slide. And why we're talking about this onboarding, that could be probably changed already, because we have a very big focus on the app onboarding and we iterate a lot. So that means it's consistently changing. Maybe there's a change in US today where we test out a new thing, and what I know that's right now in testing phase, we start with this legal term thing, which is mandatory, especially with DSVGO and tracking. We moved that to the end in the new test, and to focusing only on the client side in the onboarding. That means that we're not using data sending to our third parties, and in the onboarding that we will figure out here in this case, this is improving the conversion rates for monetization, or finalize our very long onboarding. After that step, we going in the goal setting direction, which is for health and fitness very common. And before we asking much more questions about the goals, we come up with a dialogue here, which talking a little bit about the advantages, what's in there, why we're asking that questions. We explain that a little bit, why we need all those informations, and the reason why we are doing that, if the customer's just clicking through and answering just I will coming to the end, then we will probably have a wrong plan for him or for her. And this is the reason why we really explain every step to get accurate data. Step number 8, it's a long onboarding, right? It's creating the plan. It's a mix between a little bit education, that we now working, processing your data. Of course, it's not taking so long, but it's also a little bit of marketing. And then we display a plan already, what you can expect from the plan if you subscribe, giving a little outlook, what is in the plan. And then finally we're showing the paywall, which is then connected to the plan, and everything what we got before was in the plan. So goals and the name and so on, it's mixed in the plan, and people really like that. So then they start in our case studying the paywall with what's in for me, and they look through the success cases and so on. Just a little summary: take always the user input of the following steps as well in the product. Set yourself straight goals. In our case was this a very high completion rate of the onboarding. We are a little bit below 80%, but we hit this rate a few months back, and we are working hard on that to come back to that number. Choose your third-party providers. I'm a big fan of third-party providers. Makes you faster. As we talked about that smart look in our case, if it's new and if you have no idea what the customer behavior is, it's very helpful to understand, or Purchasely, to not building paywalls or billing backends, and use all the data what you get from the customer for personalization and individualization. it's always, I believe for every niche, for every vertical, it's possible somehow to make it personal. And this is also, I think, what people expect, not to have random stuff. Have a focus on the push permission and have a clear reason why in the onboarding, and especially for permissions, why you need that, and not just asking for every permission just to have it.